Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the live stream. What's the obsession? I'm sorry, live stream, Friday night live stream. Of course, come on in, have a drink, have a hot chocolate, have a glass of wine, whatever you want. Relax with us. It's a Friday night date every Friday night. So, and my toaster just went ding. And tonight we have a really special live stream because we have my friend and famous author, true crime author, our favorite true crime author, Kathleen Hewtsen, with us this evening. Now, Kathleen has written books about some of our very favorite true crime cases, especially on this channel. Oops. So she wrote, oh my gosh, have you guys read Murdoch? I always want to say she. No, he. Murdoch, she wrote. It's about our friend Alec Murdoch, right? Of course it is. And there is part 1 and part 2. Part 2 came out pretty recently. I remember it came out, sometime during the, infamous trial, because I remember I was making videos on that trial, Fast and Furious, because it was just so fascinating. And it was during that time that the part 2 came out. And it just really, truly blows your mind. She's always able to get the deep dives, the best scoops on everything. I don't know exactly how she does it. Well, I know a couple of her secrets, but she's willing to do anything to get the scoop, and she's absolutely great. So right now she is and also, I'm sorry, how could I forget? What's the obsession, girl? What's the obsession? Jeez. Awesome book. Best Chris Watts book out there, Blood and Marriage, about all of the crazy things we know about with the Watts case and even some more. Well, maybe you know about them now, but she was the one who broke a lot of the real information that was just absolutely salacious about that case. Watts the obsession, baby. It will always be an obsession. So this right here is Kathleen and her friend Ann Brenner. Do you guys know Ann Brenner? She is amazing. And I want you to check out her website. Here, I'm going to put the link in chat right now, and I'll put it in the description as well. On her website, there's links to all of her books, so you can get them in Kindle form. You can get the hardcover. You can do whatever you want, but I definitely suggest reading. She has so many more books as well. I just mentioned a couple because I know those are some of the favorite cases on this channel. So, Kouri Richins. Who is Kouri Richins? Let me bring something different here into the stream. Let's see. You know what? I think I'm going to play you just a little video to introduce you to the case and some of the evidence that's coming together about this case that is showing that not only did she allegedly, most likely, murder her husband, Eric, father of their 3 young boys, ages 11, 9, and 6. She did this with premeditation, and she did this by allegedly giving him a lethal dose of fentanyl. So it's said that, I was just talking about this with Kathleen, they say that, seriously, be careful about this. Tell your kids to be careful about this. It only takes the equivalent of 5 grains of salt of fentanyl for somebody to overdose, street fentanyl, because you don't know what's in it. There's a difference between pharmaceutical grade fentanyl and street fentanyl, right? So pharmaceutical grade fentanyl is something that is usually only given to, as far as I know, hospice patients, like people in the absolute worst pain. And the whole idea is just to allow them to be comfortable in the remaining days of their lives. It's one of the most potent it is the most potent opiate type medicine out there. And then street fentanyl, it is a conglomeration of everything horrible. And as you know, in this country, my moderators in Australia told me they don't have this problem in Australia, but in the United States, it's an absolute epidemic, an epidemic of taking people's lives. It's very horrible. So here, let me just bring this into the stream, and then we'll bring Kathleen on. So this actually is from today. And some other breaking news about this case came out just today through the Daily Mail. And I've got to tell you, I know it is information that Jeannie and Kathleen already had because I talked about it with Kathleen a while ago. So, but we'll talk about that as well. Let me just get to the sweet spot here. Hold it, there we go. No, go back. So welcome, everybody. Come on in. I'm so glad you guys are here. I didn't say hello to everybody because I was just rambling on about a number of things anyhow. But I'm so glad all of you guys are here. And thank you, moderators, especially for being here. You guys are amazing. All right, let's go back. Pause that bad boy. Pause. Pause, I said. It doesn't want to pause, so I better just turn the volume on.
Around portraying herself as a grieving widow and victim while trying to profit from the death of my brother. I am truly concerned that she will stop at nothing to dig her way out of the problems, including murder.
That's the sister-in-law of Kouri Richins, the Utah mother of 3, on trial for poisoning her husband in March 2020.
Kouri has paraded.
I'm so sorry, I went back, but you know what? Edward just said something. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. This is weird, Fox News. You know what? Wait, I'm gonna bring my own video into the stream. That's what I'm gonna do because I made a video about this. Edward just said something that made me want to remind all of you guys. I don't know how familiar all of you are with this case, but after Kouri allegedly murdered her husband, Eric, she wrote a children's book about a year after, I believe, and it's called "Are You With Me?" And we can look at that a little because the graphics in it, I think the illustrations are absolutely creepy. And she went on a Utah morning show talking about it. And she said, "Oh, you know, I wrote this book to help my grieving sons get over or deal with the loss of their father." I don't think you ever get over it, right? But it's just all very suspicious stuff. This case is so twisted. It's definitely one to be watching. This trial is going to be a banger.
Richins case. Kouri Richins, we are learning.
Get to where it starts. Okay, here we go.
Around portraying herself as a grieving widow and victim while trying to profit from the death of my brother. I am truly concerned that she will stop at nothing to dig her way out of the problems, including murder.
That's the sister-in-law of Kouri Richins, the Utah mother of 3, on trial for poisoning her husband in March 2022. After he died, she wrote a children's book on coping with grief when a loved one passes away. She was later charged with her husband's murder. Prosecutors say the cell phone they recovered from her is loaded with incriminating evidence. Richins' legal team says the prosecution's case has some flaws. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney Lexi Rigdon. Lexi, welcome.
Thanks, Mike. How are you?
Great to have you. Let's start with the prosecutor reading Kouri's text to her best friend about performing CPR.
I pumped so damn hard, so hard, screaming at him to come back to life.
Yes. Upon beginning those compressions, Eric began to foam at the mouth. He stated that observation indicated that CPR was not likely conducted before he arrived.
So the evidence shows that paramedics were first to perform CPR. Lexi, how damaging is that for her case?
That's very damaging. And what's also very damaging is what I call the new DNA, which is basically the cell phone evidence. And we've seen people undone for cell phone evidence in so many high profile cases, Koberger, Murdaugh, and this is just another one because she testified that they had a Moscow Mule, which is a type of drink together, had gone to bed, and then she woke up to find him cold and started CPR. But not only does it seem that she didn't actually start the CPR, but she apparently wasn't asleep. She was actually doing a lot of incriminating Googling, including Googling luxury prisons and when you can expect a life insurance payout if a death certificate is still pending. So in addition to the discrepancies with what she told people and the evidence, the cell phone evidence and the Google searches are very, very hard to explain in the context of innocence.
Kouri says she and her husband were celebrating the night of March 3rd, 2022, because she, as a real estate agent, had just sold a home. She says she made him that Moscow Mule cocktail and brought it to him in their bedroom, but then she went to bed in the bedroom of one of her children. How does the defense raise a reasonable doubt about that?
Well, the defense has already sort of telegraphed that at this hearing, that they're basically saying that the alleged motive, which was money, does not make you a murderer. And that is that's going to be a really important point for them. And what I think is very interesting about this case is that it seems as though everybody knows that if you kill your spouse, you're the first one that's going to be looked at. And it seems like the motive in this case was financial. And now she's going to be stuck in jail for a long time, potentially forever, with $10 in the commissary if she's lucky. So if the money was actually her goal and she actually gets convicted, she didn't She did not get the life she wanted by choosing this route, which so often happens where people choose death over divorce.
There are also questions about her actions after her husband's death. She bought a $2 million home within a couple of days of his passing. Does that sound suspicious to a jury?
Absolutely, it sounds suspicious. She also took vacations. She went to Spain with the kids. She went to Mexico with the kids. She tried to explain it, but her behavior is very suspicious. Writing the grief book, I mean, you just couldn't make that up. I mean, that sounds like something out of a movie that she's accused of killing her husband, and she also wrote a grief book. So her actions are going to be very suspicious, including the fact that she actually, if this comes in at the trial, punched his sister over a fight about money after his death.
We see her emotion. We're showing the audience on the screen her breaking down as some of this is being brought up in the case. Does the emotion play well with the jury? And what about putting her on the stand? Was that possibly a way to help spare her from serious prison time?
Well, juries do pay attention to defendants. They look at them, and it's like in the case of Alec Murdaugh, where he was crying, he was literally sobbing, and they convicted him within 2 hours. So I think the juries can kind of tell when emotion is genuine and when it's not. And it's her right to testify, and she's the only one who can ultimately make the decision, if this case gets to trial, of course, whether she's going to testify or not. But there are so many things that she would have a very hard time explaining, not the least of which was taking out 4 life insurance policies in the years preceding his death and all of her Google searches. I don't think that this is a case where she's going to testify, but she does have unbelievable hubris. So who knows?
Lexi, these days we're all walking around with these very sophisticated electronic devices. You touched on it a bit earlier about her Googling as her husband was dying or just after his death. What about the evidence that these gadgets collect from all of us as we go about our daily lives and the potential impact on a trial?
That's going to be huge. Like I said, that's in part how Brian Kohberger was arrested, because they triangulated his movements using his cell phone. And they're going to be looking into her text messages to see who she was text messaging, how she got the fentanyl, which is the allegation from the prosecution, which of course the defense has denied and said there's not enough evidence, at least to keep her detained, that she even tried to obtain fentanyl. But her text messages, her Google searches, and all of the activity that she was doing leading up to the murder is going to be of paramount importance, including the fact that she was searching how to delete things remotely.
We're nearly out of time, but if you were handling this case, how worried would you be that she's in deep trouble?
I'd be very worried that she was in deep trouble, because I think that there is a lot of evidence. Even the judge said that there was the standard in Utah to hold somebody. There's a presumption against bail in the case of aggravated murder, but even the judge said that there is substantial evidence, at least to hold her, that this crime was committed. And I think the evidence against her is very strong. So if I were her and on her team, I would be very concerned about her fate.
Criminal defense attorney Lexi Rigdon, thanks for your analysis. Great to have you.
Thank you.
All righty, so let me just stop that there. So hopefully that gives you a little taste of what this case is all about. If you aren't so familiar with this case, guys, there are so many details, and all of these things that they touched upon in this little video that I just played for you, Kathleen is going to expand on, and so much more. The information she has is absolutely, it's just freaking amazing. She's talked to the family, she's talked to the prosecution, she's talked to people in, the city where this, or the town, was it a city or a town? I don't know what's going on in Utah, where this happened. She went to some of the pretrial hearings, and let me bring Kathleen on so she can tell you more about that herself. Okay, so welcome, Miss Kathleen. How are you doing?
Oh, Miss Kelly, I'm always happy to be here and with your wonderful people. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm always happy to be here.
Let me begin by saying, I have a lot to say, but anyway, let me begin by saying last time I was on here, I made a huge fool of myself, having actually, this happens to me a lot. I get married, and then at the reception afterwards, whoever I marry always stands up and says, I need to tell the truth because I'm in love with your maid of honor. And I always am left. You couldn't have told me that at the rehearsal dinner. Anyway, an hour after I made that podcast, I read the Walk the Dog letter, and I'll go on record as saying it's nothing but a confession. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's also blackening the name of a dead man, the father of 3 little boys. And I like to think that their own memories will supersede the things Kouri has said about him. However, they're really little. Okay.
They are
So in
really little.
addition,
It's gonna be hard for them to have those memories if she's trying to sully them.
I know. I mean, let's see, Eric. Well, I sent you some early pages from the book.
Yes.
You know, she's made Eric look like the biggest junkie since El Morte, who runs Sinaloa. Let's see, he cheated on her with that really gorgeous woman the Daily Mail took the picture of today. He
Mhm.
didn't have an affair with her, but I have to say, what a beautiful creature. That poor woman, mother of 3, just out of the blue gets a wacko call from Kouri, you're cheating on me. Well, here's the thing I know about people. You always project what you're doing on others. Okay.
Absolutely. I fully agree with that. Ain't that the truth?
And before we begin anything, let me just quote from May 8th, after Kouri was arrested.
Okay.
Called up from Summit County. It's on the recorded jail line. She called her mother's house and her brother answered. And he said, sorry, pardon the obscenity, what the fuck did you do? Just like you would if you get a call from your. And she answered, and I quote, I got the pills for from Carmen for Eric. Now, where I come from, that is either a confession of manslaughter or second degree murder.
Absolutely.
I mean, where do we go from there? But where you go from there, guys, read the Walk the Dog letter. It's not going to get introduced in court. It's everything you ever want to
yes.
know. I know.
Okay, so let's talk about the Walk the Dog letter a little bit. I actually have a download of it here. I wanted to make a video about the Walk the Dog letter before today's live stream, but I didn't get the opportunity to do that, unfortunately. But tell everybody a little about the so-called Walk the Dog letter. It's a 6-page letter that was found. I'll start it and then you can finish it because you'll know a lot more. That was found in, well, she had a so-called medical episode, Kouri Richins did, while she was in the county being held before trial, and she claims that the jail gave her the wrong medication and she started having seizures and she needed to go to the hospital. Well, she was at the hospital. Somebody at the jail found this letter that is infamously now called the Walk the Dog letter. And go ahead and tell us more about that and what various people said about it.
Okay, well, if you read it the first time, and you know, you'd think you have to have reading comprehension. Sometimes you have to read it line by line. And I took it apart. In some parts in Dream House, you will read Kouri's own words. I found them so compelling. Of course, it's
Dream House is the title of your upcoming book, correct?
Yes, based on that ludicrous mansion in Midway.
Okay. And we'll have to show people pictures of that too. But go ahead. I'll try to get all that.
Yeah, I sent you some of the. Somebody who's actually got money has bought it now, so it won't look like it did. But when I was there, it was every haunted house you'd ever walk into.
I have that picture too.
And possibly the most pretentious thing I have ever seen in my life. But you know what is good? $180,000 swimming pool at a property in Camish, Utah, which is like putting, for those of you on the East Coast, that's like an outdoor pool in Ithaca or Buffalo, New York. For those of you from the West Coast, it's an outdoor pool in Vail, Colorado, and they don't exist.
Now tell them, so what Kathleen is talking about is that after her husband, Eric Richins, died, Kouri got for
$1.4 million.
Yeah, for the time being, yes, a huge amount of life insurance. Now, listen to this. While Eric was alive, Eric actually, they had a prenup agreement. This is important to know.
Yep.
And apparently, so it said, Eric Richins' mother approached Kouri at their wedding, on their wedding day, right? With a prenup in hand. Hi, honey. I'm so glad I'm going to be your mother-in-law. Could you please sign this agreement? And the prenup said that Kouri would, if anything were to happen, if they were divorced, that Kouri would not benefit from any of his wealth accrued before their marriage or during their marriage. In fact, she would not benefit from it at all, except for in the case of his death while they were married. So be careful about the prenups you sign, because could he have almost, without knowing, of course, signed his own death warrant? It seems that could, in fact, be the case. Now, so Eric established a secret trust while they were still married because Eric believed that Kouri had tried to poison him and kill him twice before. Apparently, allegedly, he told his family and friends this. So he set up a secret trust naming his sister Amy is, it's not the executor. I can't remember what the name of it is, but
No, Sister Katie, actually. Yeah, the executive.
oh, Katie, right. Okay. To oversee, his wealth and his assets and his money if something were to happen with him, so he could ensure that his wealth would benefit his sons and not his greedy ass wife.
Correct.
So how crazy is that? And so Kouri, of course, did not know about that. And after he died, she learned a lot of things. Like, according to this secret trust, all of a sudden, the house that she and her children lived in now belonged to Eric's family, like
Or the
his
boys.
sister,
For
or the
the
boys, right? So they lived in, what's the town that they lived in at the time?
It's
Okay,
this
and then
mountain town in the middle of nowhere.
okay. So she then took that money, and Kathleen found out through her great research that she built a $180,000 outdoor pool at the house. I mean, it just goes to show how, just exorbitant her spending is, because where they live in Utah is very much like where I live in upstate New York, like that Buffalo kind of weather. If you have a pool here, you get like 2 weeks of use out of it. So this is just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And
I just wanted to give them the background on that.
no, I appreciate that. The thing is, I believe Eric was frightened of his wife, and that is why he did not tell her about the trust he had set up. That's completely what I believe. Also, that story about the whole prenup, which makes Eric's family sound awful, is not actually the whole truth. Let me explain the whole truth. Eric had asked Kouri to meet with a lawyer a week before.
Okay.
And I guess she didn't react to it well. And so he backed off, which is, guys, I mean, let's not beat up on people in abused relationships, okay?
Sure.
I mean, I don't think any of us here, I know you all followed the Watts case, will ever forget Shanann's heartbreaking little letter, "I'll do anything."
Oh, I know.
Man.
In fact, that's like the only piece of the Watts case I have never read it on this channel, because to me it is just such a
So
intimate piece of Shanann
Yes.
that I just want to, I don't want to read
But
it.
I think of it a lot, and I feel such love for her. I think of little Gabby Petito trying to please Brian Landry and his horrible family. You can't please these people. You can't make it go away. I think he was trying, but mostly he just wanted to protect his boys. All he had to leave, all he had was the money he'd earned through a lot of hard work, and hopefully their memories. Well, they're so little. What are their memories going to be now? Let's see. We've read about how he abused her. And boy, is that a fairy story. And then I got chumped on that one, by the way. I'll come back on it in a second.
Oh, boy.
Yes, he was an abusive monster, and he was never home, and he wasn't involved in the boys' lives, and he cheated on
that's contrary to the account of anyone else who knew them, right?
everybody else.
Everybody.
I'm so deep into this, months and months and months of research and talking to people everywhere. And my investigator, Jeannie, has talked to thousands of people. This stuff didn't happen. What did happen is that Eric's heartbroken younger sister, Amy, told the truth at the bail hearing. And now to the attack. I'd like to go over that one for a minute, because this little nugget will surprise you. A locksmith was called to break into Eric's safe, because that's what you do when you lose the person you love so much, right?
Right. Absolutely. A few days after his death, by the way.
Very shortly after his death.
Shortly after. And then we have to show pictures of the house and explain the house that she purchased and all that. But go ahead with, this is
okay. So I'm standing outside one of the windows of Dream House.
This is Kathleen standing outside one of the broken windows of the Dream House. Do you want me to show that video recreation of what it would look like finished really quick, a little bit of it, so they can get an idea?
That's hilarious. But first, let me fill you in on this.
Go for it.
So the locksmith is called because most people would have just gone to the hospital or shot themselves. I love my husband, and I cannot imagine this grief. I really can't. Anyway, she goes on. There's a party, and because she's closing on the house. By the way, Dream House, Eric's name was not on the loan. It was not on the deed. He wasn't celebrating anything. It had nothing to do with him. She went to hard money lenders on that.
Now, this house, by the way, this house,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to play in the background, like the what the house would look like when it was done. I'm going to show you some pictures
Please
of it
do.
as
And then
she
show the
purchased
reality.
it. It was very raw. Wait, let me put volume on that. So this is the house, guys. It's insane. I mean, the guest
Yes.
house is twice the size of my house, and my house is huge.
It
And
has a virtual reality room, Kel. It has a rock climbing room, an indoor golf course, an indoor swimming
doesn't
pool.
it have like 17 bedrooms or something?
It does. And that's
And
not
so Kouri was, like in the business of flipping real estate, like some people try their hands at. According to her and her family, she was very successful. She was making great money. According to everybody else, she was floundering. She had, hard, serious lenders that she was getting millions of dollars from in order to fund and float these properties. And that money was going to be owed back, or consequences certainly would be had. So she had her eye set on this house that has 17 bedrooms. We're going through it right now. And I mean, it's the most insane. It's like a freaking resort, but it's a house. It's a mansion. It's so weird. And she wanted to purchase this house for what she thought was a bargain, fix it up and flip it for what she wanted to be, of course, a big profit. And Eric, her husband, her dearly deceased husband, not dearly to her, dearly to us, was like, no. Probably knowing her business acumen was like, I think that we're in a little over our heads with this. And some people believe that his disagreement with her purchasing this insane house was one of the reasons that she wanted to get rid of him, because she was just laser focused on the money. She wanted to do this, and his opposition to it was very, very displeasing to her. Now, in fact, the day after, correct me if I'm wrong, the day after her husband, Eric, died, there was a party to celebrate. She did buy the house, and she threw a party.
Yeah. Well, actually, and you almost have to laugh. The closing was postponed a couple days in memoriam there. I'm being facetious. There was other stuff going on, like getting into that safe.
Right.
But she did close on it. Eric never had anything to do with this ridiculous freaking house.
His name wasn't on it, right?
No, it wasn't. No loan papers, no nothing. As you show these pictures, are you missing the small 3,300 square foot guest house? Oh my God. Right.
4,300 I just read, but maybe it's 33. But anyway, it's way bigger than my house. That's for damn sure. My
We're
house is
talking
big.
about 26,000 square feet. Just your basic, Hilton
Wait,
Resort Hotel.
26,000 square feet,
altogether, yeah.
guys. That is like it's like a fancy, it's like a super fancy hotel.
Exactly.
It's like a Four Seasons.
Now, one thing, I love this video because it amuses me. I've been in the house and I sent you pictures, and one of the funny pictures in that hellhole, it doesn't
It's
look.
a wreck. It's a wreck. It doesn't look anything like this. It's bones.
I guess somebody's bought it and they're
aching
going to make
bones.
it look like this, but it sure didn't when I went. Anyhow, on the wall studs was a thing from the contractor, 6.4 to finish it, $6.4 million to finish it. We have to
And
ask.
what were they budgeted? What was she planning on spending to finish it? Less than that, right? Yeah, much less
She
than
was
that.
just going to do it herself. She's just,
Oh.
yeah,
With her do it yourself DIY techniques, little Martha Stewart.
Yeah, exactly. She's just going to flip it. Like, what is that show? Chet and Joanna Gaines. They just, granted, the houses they pick are like 1,600 square feet, but sure. Now, when we got to the door, well, first of all, there were a lot of cows. They were sweet cows, and they just sort of moved off. They'd been kind of living inside the house because it's open the elements. And then the real estate agent, very nice woman, unlocked the front door, which was kind of stupid because the whole place was open to the elements and had been for 3 Utah winters. And a marmot, I'd never seen one before. Utah has these marmots. God, they're the cutest thing. She shook her fist at us because she had her babies in there. And then I sort of walked in the living room, but there was rat feces all over and it really stunk. And then there was a dead, bloated raccoon So I stepped outside. My husband, the real estate agent, went through it, though the real estate agent did not particularly like the marmot throwing her fist at her, and the smell. Oh boy, the smell. The indoor pool isn't really maybe what was the disgusting hole in the ground with a dead bloated rat floating in it. So I just don't have the imagination of this video that Kouri commissioned.
Oh,
Yeah.
it seems delusional. It seems delusional.
A lot of this does seem pretty delusional, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you were about to tell a story. I was going to say, which brings us maybe to the seroquel, but you were about to go into something else. And
Oh, right. I wanted to tell you about, okay, so poor Amy, his sister, goes up to see Kouri and the kids, and I guess walks into the party. That must have been awkward because you don't really expect when your beloved sibling's been murdered. But anyway, then Kouri and Amy's just keeping her counsel. Amy knows, she knows everything about the trust, but she's just sitting there not saying anything, probably out of respect. And the boys are there. Yeah, she goes in Kouri goes in the garage. She has a locksmith come, which is what one does immediately after the tragic death of their husband.
she wanted to crack into the safe that she didn't have the combination to.
That is correct. So the locksmith comes, and Amy, I guess, had just had enough. She was also on her way out, follows her in the garage and tells her about the trust. Kouri she gets the trust attorney on the phone. Kouri yells at the trust attorney, and then she lunges at Amy, and the locksmith pulled her off. Well, this has been a shocking thing. Here's a more shocking thing. The locksmith, a very nice guy.
You spoke with a locksmith.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
He hears from, the trust attorney. He's not a criminal. He's just out of there, right? Okay, I'm not touching this safe.
No.
He gets a call that night from Kouri and her mom and offering several $1,000s to come back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Offered how much?
I believe the number Jeannie got was $10,000. I can't verify that completely, but
So she was willing, she knew what was in there was of so much value that she was going to give him $10,000 to come back and crack into that
and
safe.
he said no, because he's not a crook. And he said, but I found it scary. That's a direct quote.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh, my gosh.
I know. Meanwhile, all this is going on. 3 little boys are in that house who've lost their father.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like with everything she was doing, she was spending much time actually consoling her babies, until she wrote the children's book.
In the fullness of time. Or, I believe it was Dr. John Mathias, and I think highly of him, who published a great YouTube video I recommend for everybody about how terrifying it is to write a ghost dad book. And that's what it was. He's with you. But that's okay, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna bring it up right now so people can see how freaking weird it is.
Just repulsive. But and putting in the pool is repulsive. And now I'd like to address something Amy said at the bail hearing.
Okay.
You remember that she said Kouri didn't plan the funeral. She didn't. But Kouri did have a golf tournament. It was a golf birthday party on Eric's birthday, 2 months after he was, dead, murdered. What kind of people do things like this? Actually, let me answer my own question. Does anybody remember Darlie Routier?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Well, she killed her little boys. And then, I guess feeling bad about it, 6 days later holds a 7th birthday party for them at their gravesite and sprays silly string on it.
Oh my God. What's wrong with people?
She's on death row in Texas, in case anybody's upset.
Oh my God.
I know. And a 39-year-old man is dead. And I'll say this much. Boy, was he murdered. Obviously, I can't say who did it. You can speculate. I know Utah has raccoons. Anybody could have taken it in. But the raccoons apparently also ground up Seroquel. And let's get into why that went down.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
So Seroquel is typically prescribed as an antipsychotic drug. It does occasionally have an off-label use as a sleep aid. And I was writing about this in my comment section of my recent video. I was once prescribed it, and it was freaking horrible. I had to stop taking it. It was awful. It caused me to have sleep paralysis. Like you'd wake up but you couldn't move and you'd be aware. And it was like you were in a nightmare, totally terrifying. It made my legs feel like lead weights. Like I couldn't move. It made me immobile, basically. It was one of the most horrible experiences.
I do not believe.
And she was prescribed it, by the way. She was prescribed Seroquel. She told law enforcement.
She was
prescribed it for
sleep
aid, but that's usually not what it's prescribed for.
Kind of bringing a gun to a knife fight on that one, isn't it? I mean, after all, guys, there's gummies, which, by the way, you don't have to buy on the street, and they're never laced with fentanyl. But moving on.
That's right. We like gummies.
Okay, we do like gummies. I love gummies. I'm a famous insomniac, but Seroquel, an antipsychotic. Okay, so here's a charming story. We have to go to February 14th. If you will recall, Kouri made 3 buys. I think the first was just opiate.
Buys of fentanyl she's talking about. Buys of fentanyl from a woman that in her text in her phone was called the initial CL. It was like a housekeeper of theirs who has a criminal drug
also somebody apparently Kouri barely knew, but she did attend her and Eric's wedding. But anyhow, moving on. Just a perfect stranger that you could get fentanyl from. Anyhow, and guys, I'm going to bore the heck out of you if you read the book, because there's a lot of ties to Kouri and, well, like every drug dealer in northern Utah. But anyhow, okay, so on February 14th, Eric Richins was given a sandwich, which immediately made him have trouble breathing, and he broke out in hives. Here's an interesting thing about that. He did every right thing. I used that opportunity to go interview firemen about it, but I will go see firemen on any excuse. I mean, I'm always putting my bunnies in the trees and call 911.
Firemen. Bunnies in the trees. Kathleen and I we both love our bunnies. That's a bond. We love our bunnies. We are both bunny mummies.
We are.
I'm gonna grab a bunny. Okay.
Oh, do you have a bunny?
Yeah, I'm gonna get one. Keep going. I'm gonna grab one to.
Okay, so on February 14th, Eric takes a bite of the sandwich, immediately gets very sick. He brilliantly takes a bunch of Benadryl, and his little boy had an allergy, and he used the EpiPen. This saved his life. Kouri, meanwhile, sets up this alibi because she brought him this Valentine's lunch. Like, who does that? But she had a house showing that night, as one does in the middle of winter, in the middle of the week on Valentine's night. There's no look at that bunny, open house.
This is Skylar.
So she comes home, and I imagine that, like Pam Smart, who planned what she was going to do when she found her husband dead, instead walks in the house, and there's Eric. Hi, honey. How was your showing? Oh, my God. And I wasted all that money buying fentanyl and setting up this alibi and okay. That was not going to happen again. There have been a lot of people who pointed out that was the third poisoning. I agree with all that, but here's the big difference. She sedated him with Seroquel first. I think she put it in his food. You just described sleep paralysis. A lot of people describe being helpless to get up, cotton mouth. Let me disabuse you of another thing before I let you take your wonderful show back over. You guys believe there was a Moscow Mule. I got a bridge in San Francisco to sell you. Please, under any circumstances, in not just this case, but all criminal cases, do not let the alleged murderer, looking down the barrel of life in prison, give you a timeline or a story. That's the one person you should never, ever listen to. Sure. You know why they didn't test the glass on the Moscow Mule? Because there was no goddamn Moscow Mule.
So how do you think that she gave him the deadly dose of fentanyl?
Okay, well, how I think that went down. What I think is, and I'm not judging him for this because it is a sad thing that we share. Obviously, you don't. You're so thin. You can see how fat I am. I love cake, cinnamon rolls, ice cream at night. You name it. The more unhealthy it is, I got to have it. Apparently, Eric really likes cinnamon rolls at night.
Okay, that's right. The cinnamon rolls.
I think it was ground up into the cinnamon roll because it's very hard to grind Seroquel up. Has your own show. Fine enough. I think he ate them. a cinnamon roll or two, and boom, he was so sick and sleepy. And probably had cotton mouth, a very common side effect for people given Seroquel the first time. Eric didn't take Seroquel.
Yeah.
And I think there was a glass of milk or Hawaiian punch. But when people talk about, when the defense talks about, I find this amusing, there was no glass tested. Well, that's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There was no glass. And you know why?
Because the Moscow Mule was a myth, just like everything else you made up.
Exactly. And I assure you that poor Eric Richins, who was poisoned or drugged with Seroquel and then poisoned with fentanyl, whatever he drank the glass out of, he didn't get up and go to the kitchen and wash it. Who do you think did that?
Right.
But there was no Moscow Mule.
Right.
Eric drank very seldom. And
now, would you mind if I just played a little clip from the video that I made the other day, that where the doctor here is talking about Seroquel? Because I think that this is going to end up being a really pivotal part of this case.
Good.
The medical examiner's office noted that there was a small amount of, and I hope I don't butcher the name here, quetiapine. Am I saying that? How do I say it?
Quetiapine.
Quetiapine, also
yeah.
as Seroquel, and that was
Seroquel. Let's roll with Seroquel. How's that?
Seroquel. Let's roll with that. It was found in Eric's stomach.
Right.
What is this drug, and what do you make of it?
Okay, the drug essentially is an antipsychotic, and it's actually prescribed for people that are dealing with issues regarding schizophrenia most of the time, and also associated depressive disorders. When they're like in a manic phase. So So
in chat, y'all were all right. Y'all were right about this.
A physician would prescribe it to somebody with severe bipolar disorder, perhaps. And it's a dangerous drug. It's very dangerous. And apparently, as Ms. Richins is concerned, this drug had allegedly been prescribed to her for a sleep aid.
Well, let's be clear about that. So she says, let's back this up, right? So this drug, you're right, treats things like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. But according to the search warrant affidavit, Kouri had a prescription for this. Eric did not. And Kouri told detectives that it was used as a sleeping aid, but the medical examiner, as far as I can tell, said that is not what this drug is used for.
Yeah, and it's important to delineate that, because this is a very dangerous drug. If you're not experiencing a need for this can really have some serious side effects, both from a mental standpoint, obviously, but also physiologically. How your body is going to respond to it. You're already dealing with him being dosed with fentanyl, which it pushes the individual into a depressed respiratory state, and many times that's the mechanism for them dying. And then you have this outlier of Seroquel, which is to say that it would be contraindicated as something you should not do is certainly an understatement. It can cause all kinds of heart problems relative to these individuals, everything from hyper to hypotension in an acute phase. What is really intriguing about this, Jesse, is that what the medical examiner is saying relative to the drug. Note, they're not saying that they drew this up and this was discovered in his bloodstream. They're saying that this was found in his stomach content. So that means that this drug was applied to him within just a couple of hours of him dying.
Okay, so he was not prescribed Seroquel, and the doctor is just saying that Seroquel was not found in his bloodstream in the autopsy, but rather in his stomach content. So that is really very important. Why would he just taking a Seroquel pill, the pill from hell?
Exactly.
And he wasn't. I mean, no one. No. Mm-mm.
Well, my sister was joking with me, and she said, you'd be one person that, would take it because you'd eat your ice cream or your cake and you'd say, this tastes funny. And then you'd finish eating it. I can't judge. But I want to say before I let you go that the defense is talking about their happy marriage, their great love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do any of you who have ever had a relationship consider a happy marriage? Kouri went to see a divorce attorney. Her family talks about a black eye, but no one's ever seen the photograph of it. Her family talks about him cheating on her. Eric set up a trust to protect his little boys. And also, and this is very important, if something happens to me medically, don't let Kouri know. These are all the signs of the happiest marriage you could ever dream of, right?
Yeah, he was afraid if something happened medically, she'd come pull the plug, so to speak.
Yeah, unfortunately, as we know.
Yeah,
No.
God.
But anyway, so yeah, okay, that's the happy marriage. Now, I'd love and adore you for having me on, and you guys for listening to my musical stylings. As you know, I was just in a bad car accident, so I'm going to bed. But
yes, you poor girl. How are you feeling today?
Well, you know, I stole my husband's Seroquel. So no, I'm kidding. You know, I don't take pills. Well, I did actually. I took 3 Advils. But anyhow, I want to say that I really appreciate you having me on here. I appreciate
Thank
people
you for coming on.
And I want to leave everybody with this thought.
And everybody, this, by the way, is Kathleen Hewtsen. She is a famous true crime author and our favorite true crime author. She's written a number of books. And, oh, gosh, I got to get your website back up. I'm going to post her website, put in the description. Definitely go check it out. Read her books. They're fantastic.
Amongst the many things, thank you so much, you wonderful girl. Amongst the many things Kouri did after Eric died, 5 days after he died, she bought fentanyl again. I guess we'll all just have to wonder why that was. But before this...
Wait, say that again. Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
On March 9th.
March 9th. Okay, he died March 2nd, right? Or 4th? Okay.
He died on the 9th, 3rd, 4th.
Okay.
On March 9th, she made another fentanyl buy from CL.
She did. So, okay. So after he died, we know that she made these fentanyl buys from CL before he died. We think that contributed to the failed attempt, so to speak, to take his life. And then, unfortunately, she was successful in actually allegedly giving her husband a lethal dose of fentanyl. But she continued to buy fentanyl off the street after he died.
That is correct.
So,
and I guess, you know, I'm going to leave you to speculate on that.
Well, maybe I can talk with the chat about that, what we think could be possible there. Because either she was taking them herself, or she found out that giving someone fentanyl was a good way to kill them, and she was looking to kill somebody else.
Street fentanyl. Yeah, it's definitely to kill somebody. It's interesting as I go. If you remember, Robert De Niro's beautiful young grandson was killed in New York by the Percocet princess, who she actually told him, I can't get you oxy. It's street vent. It might kill you. Well, they're going after her for 2nd-degree murder. And we don't have a recording of her saying, I bought the pills for him. But again, I can't thank you enough for the time and all of you for listening. I'll see you. Well, I'll see you on Kelly's show next time.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And the book is called Dream House, correct?
It is, because there's all kinds of dream houses, and this one was quite the nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great title. I just want to make sure I had it correct. When do you anticipate that you will be publishing this?
I believe, I'm Irish and superstitious, but it should be out.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. That's also
yeah, it should be out in June, you said?
That is correct.
Awesome. I can't wait to read it.
And obviously that's long before trial, but I think people need to know, and the jury won't see the damn walk the dog letter.
We're going to talk about that in a minute, because we have to. I mean, we have to.
Anyway, much love to you, Miss Kelly.
Oh, you too, sweetheart. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to get you again soon. We love you.
This is mine. Love you too. Night,
all
honey.
Right. Kiss the bunnies.
I will.
All right. Bye-bye, honey. Oh, I love Kathleen so much. She's wonderful. She's a very good friend too. Just love her. So everyone, that was Kathleen Hewtsen, true crime author, and she has an upcoming book on Kouri Richins, who is awaiting trial in county jail, 33 years old, mother of 3, for allegedly giving her husband a lethal dose of fentanyl covertly, of course, and he is no longer with us. And his boys are left without a father, and his money now is, locked up in that secret trust that he named his sister Katie as executor of, to ensure that his boys benefited from his wealth, because he came from a very prominent Utah family, and he himself was very successful and made a lot of money. So gosh, yeah, she's great. We love Kathleen. Go check out, she's Blood and Marriage, the Chris and Shanann Watts story is amazing. And then Murdoch, she wrote, great title. I love that. Part 1 and part 2 are both outstanding as well. So yeah, welcome Sizzle. Yeah, she's just absolutely great. So, I mean, do you have any questions about that? Why do you think, what are your thoughts on why she made another street fentanyl buy after Eric died? Does anyone have thoughts on that? I'll put the link to panel if anyone wants to come up and talk instead of write in chat. That's totally cool. Yeah, I saw some of you guys. I'm reading your comments. I'm seeing some of you have like different ideas and stuff. I'd like if you can, kind of just state that again so I don't have to scroll up, because it just sort of skips and it's kind of hard to do. And if somebody could keep reposting Kathleen's link, Jeannie or McJay or someone, I just put it in chat. That would be amazing. So people can go to her website and check out her books. Yeah. Hi, how are you, Kathleen? Nice to see you. Sub Rosa says, I think she was using drugs. Very possible. Now, here's something that you should know, okay? So something Jeannie and I, were talking about was, just what a money-grubbing bitch you seem to be. I mean, it really does seem like that. It just really does seem like that. And okay, let's think about the Chris Watts case, if you're familiar with that. I know many people are. Watts the Obsession, baby. Chris Watts had an insurance policy through his company, Anadarko, on his own life, on Shanann's life, and also people have made a big deal about the fact that he had an insurance policy naming he and Shanann as the beneficiaries on the lives of each Bella and Celeste, his very young daughters, ages 3 and 4 at the time of their horrific death. So, because people made such a big deal about that and said, oh my gosh, he took out these insurance policies on the girls because he was planning on making money off the death that way. First of all, they were very small policies as far as life insurance policies are concerned. And when I was researching that aspect of the case, I talked to 2 different human resource directors for, companies that I could find that were as similar as my mind to Anadarko, like big money, big corporations, expansive, not just like little local corporations. I did my best to find companies that were similar. So both of these people explained to me nearly the same thing, and the same thing in nearly the same language, because it's probably HR speak. I don't know. But that it is now, in these days, after the recession era of 2008, 2009, 2010, companies start to make it compulsory for employees to have insurance policies on themselves, their spouse, and everybody in their immediate family. And the reason is this: it's a part of an incoming employee. Okay, so say in my job, I'm not going to give the real figures, but like, let's just say if my the money that I take home through my paychecks every other week, let's just say it's $50,000. In my contract, it will say that the salary is $50,000, and then there's $30,000 value in additional benefits. Therefore, making, they make it like, well, we're really giving you $80,000 because you're getting $50,000 in money through your paychecks every other week. And then you're getting these benefits from us that are worth $30,000 a year. We're investing in you. We care about you. This is attractive to people who are looking for jobs, especially after our economy took such a shit dive, and people just really want security and also benefit and value from the time that they put into their work, right? Makes sense. Hi, Green Eyed Bandit. How are you doing? Nice to see you. So when an insurance company offers life insurance policies to all of their employees, they are paying a large sum monthly for each employee and each employee's family member. But as a whole, it's a benefit that has a lot of monetary value to the employee on paper that doesn't cost the big corporation as much because it's in bulk. It's a bulk policy, right? You get that? So the reason that they make it compulsory that everybody in your immediate family has an insurance policy on their dime is because it's a part of the benefit package that they want to include in that contract. Like I said, like you get $50,000 in money through your salary every other week, and you also get all of this value. It's worth $30,000 a year. So Kelly, we're really giving you an offer of $80,000 a year. So that's why they do it. I went off way too much on that, but that's important to understand the Chris Watts case. So it had nothing to do with him thinking he was going to cash in on their death someday, even though he is a disgusting, dirty bastard. We all know that. But anywho, in Kouri Richins' case, moving on to this case, she had an electively initiated life insurance policy on each of her 3 children. Correct, Jeannie? And Jeannie, do you know anything about when those insurance policies on each of her 3 boys, ages 11, 9, and 6, were taken out? Because I don't know that, but I know probably from your research, Jeannie. Jeannie does research for Kathleen because she's damn good. That, you know, those policies were taken out. Those of you who are parents and those of you who aren't, I mean, it's just, but I think as a parent, you can really be like, the idea of taking, my son's 15 now, the idea of ever taking a life insurance policy on him since the day he was born in case he dies, I get money. Why? That is just like so freaking weird and backwards. It makes me want to throw up. Like, I would never want to get money for my child dying. I think that's disgusting. So if it's a compulsory thing, like with Chris Watts' company and Darko, okay, so that's there, you know, and I told you the reason why it's there. But to go and seek out life insurance policies for each of your 3 young children and actually take them out and pay the premium every month, why would you do that? So Jeannie says, yes, it is outside of work. So it's an elective policy through New York Life, and she pays $800 a month. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, this makes me sick. This just really concerns me. It makes me happy that she's behind bars now. So she pays we know that she's really into her money. Yeah, she pays $800 a month for life insurance policies of her 11, 9, and 6-year-old son. That's how old they are now. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, it's a bundled package with companies. Yeah, I said bulk, but bundle. You're right. Bundle is the word. No, the insurance is not for health. No, this is life insurance. Yeah. Subrosa says, she's probably safer in jail than outside of jail if she owes as much money to hard lenders as people say that she does. She does owe that much money, and you very well might be right about that. The policy to cover each of her 3 young children to have life insurance in the event of their death, she as the beneficiary would get a large sum of money if any of her young children's sons passed away, costing her $800 a month to keep those policies active. Some people believe in insurance. Some people do. That's right. But for your child, I mean, I believe in life insurance. Absolutely. I have 2 life insurance policies out on myself with my son being the beneficiary. And I have his entire life because I am a single mother, and I have always been, terrified of the idea of like, what if something happened to me? Like what, oh my God, like I can't imagine not being here to take care of him in every way, including financially. Yeah. Sarah M said, I do too, Jesse, but $800 a month, that's a mortgage payment. That's right. So, I mean, the idea of having life insurance policies on her 3 young sons must have had some value in her mind that outweighed the $800 a month premium she was paying to keep those insurance policies Green-eyed bandit said, "Who's paying $800 a month on their young children? I'm lost. I just got here. I'll be quiet unless you always say that. You don't have to be quiet." Yeah, Kouri Richins, who is sitting in jail now, awaiting trial on charges of aggravated murder and drug possession for allegedly giving her husband covertly a lethal dose of fentanyl that did in fact take his life, and possibly making 2 attempts on his life before that. There is evidence that she made two fentanyl purchases with a person named CL prior to his death, like within about a month of his death. Right around the first time was right before Valentine's Day, when he ate that sandwich that she made him on Valentine's Day, and immediately his throat started to close up. He couldn't breathe. He was having a terrible reaction. And fentanyl is something that immediately goes into your system. Well, street fentanyl is made of, I mean, who knows what, but even probably more so. He had an immediate reaction, as one could imagine. They say it only takes the amount of 5 grains of salt to ingest a lethal amount of fentanyl. So, and then after Valentine's Day, after that first fentanyl purchase from CL, there's a text message to CL saying that she needs something stronger. Her hoax was that she was buying these fentanyl pills for a wealthy investor who had back pain. This is what the text messages said. They all have all these text messages. They're very incriminating. So then she goes back and tells CL, who is a convicted felony drug dealer, several times convicted. She says, I need something stronger. My investor, who has back pain, that I got the street fentanyl from the first time, that wasn't strong enough for him. Now, fentanyl is the strongest opioid-based drug known to man. They say it's how many times stronger than heroin? I'm going to get that statistic for you. How many? I just want to spell fentanyl with a PH for some reason. Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid that is up to 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. So Kouri Richins goes and tells the person that she bought the first batch of fentanyl pills from, those weren't strong enough. 50 times stronger than heroin, did nothing for his back pain. Nothing. I need something stronger. Her statement was, I need some of the Michael Jackson stuff, which, we all know was not fentanyl. It was propofol, which is, a drug used by anesthesiologists. These are big words. So that's, she just wants something that's really strong. The idea is, I need something strong that's going to really knock someone out, right? Give me some of that Michael Jackson stuff, is what she says. And then after receiving some of that Michael Jackson stuff, shortly thereafter, her husband died of a fentanyl overdose. And then, as we learned from Kathleen, and this is something nobody else knows, Jeannie or Kathleen, found a source, a reliable source that they vetted, and shared this with them. 5 days after Eric died, she made another street fentanyl purchase. So we basically have 2 options here, like basic options. And then it's like choose your own adventure. Now you can go further down either road. Either she is an opiate, addict if you're buying street fentanyl, because the risk-benefit analysis there is, kind of a no-brainer. Fentanyl is killing people all across this country at record and rapid rates. Just in my hometown, there was a three-month period recently, definitely within the past year, not too long ago, when I went to a very small high school. I think there was like 150 people in my graduating class. 6 people that I went to high school with died in my community of fentanyl overdoses. And this is happening everywhere in America, so sadly. Please don't take fentanyl, street fentanyl. Even pharmaceutical grade fentanyl is usually only prescribed to people in like hospice situation. It's not like you're going to take this and function drug, right? So either she had an opiate addiction, she was buying them for herself, very possible. Many people are addicted to opiates. It's very difficult to kick the opiate addiction habit. They are highly addictive, as everyone knows. Once again, look it up, Murdoch. Or she was buying those fentanyl pills because they successfully killed her husband and she was looking to kill somebody else. Now, we know that the crime, allegedly, of murdering her husband was completely financially motivated. So we have to ask if that's her motivation for justifying in her own mind killing somebody. What other people around her would she benefit from financially if they were to die? Considering she has life insurance policies, active life insurance policies, she pays $800 a month for on each of her 3 young sons. That, my friends, is terrifying. Oh, gotcha. Cece and Bella. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was talking about these kids. Yeah. Life insurance for kids is like $15 a month, unless it's a mighty policy. I don't know too much about life insurance policies for children. My God, I've never looked into it. So Rosa says her narcissistic lawyer and herself are like 2 peas in a pod. Let's hear a little bit from Sky Lazaro, her attorney here. Let's see. I put this video out the other day here. Did you guys watch the video I put out about this the other day? I'm going to just play a little bit of it because it'll give you a little more detail about some things I'm talking about here that I don't have committed to memory like everything with the Watts case, but I did the research, I made notes, and I made the video. That's usually how it goes. The Watts case is just like a freakish thing. So do y'all remember Kouri Richins? She's the 33-year-old mother of 3 accused of murdering her husband, Eric Richins. Oops. Oh, wait. Where'd it go? Why? I wanted to do that. Okay. And then share video. Wait, let me bring the video back in. I must have clicked the wrong thing. Okay. That was confusing. Okay. What's going on here? Let me stop for a moment here. I see when I'm being just crazy here. Okay, hold it. Redo. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. Okay, that's one I need. No. That's so weird. Why don't I see it? That's so weird. Okay, wait. Where was I? That was Kouri Richins. New emerging details of mother accused of husband. Okay, that's the one I want to bring in. There we go. That's due to her text messages between herself and this person in which she called her CL. Tells authorities that oh, by the way, CL is a convicted drug dealer. Felony count. She's done her thing. She's done her time. She tells authorities that on 2 occasions she gave Richins over 30 pills of fentanyl. And by the way, these 2 occasions were within a month of Eric's death. CL claims that Kouri Richins paid $900 for each time that she gave her a batch of fentanyl. Kouri Richins, who seemingly had no idea it was coming, was arrested in May of 2023, over a year after Eric's death. And this was after she authored and published a children's book entitled Are You With Me? That she says she wrote to help her 3 young sons deal with the death of their father, Eric. Kouri Richins' mother, Lisa Darden, who was recently featured in A 48 Hours, says that this book did, in fact, help the 3 of them get through Eric's death. Now, by all accounts, Eric was a loving father and a loving, albeit suspicious husband, as he told his family and friends, allegedly, that Kouri tried to poison him on at least 2 occasions prior to that fateful evening when Eric lost his life. Additionally, after Kouri did some things that were suspicious to Eric, including getting into some accounts he didn't believe she had access to and spending some money he didn't know about, he put his wealth into a secret trust, naming his sister as the executor to help ensure that his wealth and assets would benefit his children in the event of his untimely death. This secret trust essentially overrode the prenup agreement between Kouri and Eric Richins that said that she wouldn't be getting any of his wealth in the case of their divorce. In fact, she wouldn't be getting any of it except for in the event of his death while they were still married. Could that have been a fateful agreement signed by both Eric and Kouri? There's so many details of this twisted case that we'll be talking about in this video and successive videos to come, and very much so on this coming Friday night's live stream with author Kathleen Hewtsen.
Okay, so we just did that, so let me move forward. Okay.
Motive for murdering her husband Eric was financial. She thought that she was going to be gaining all of the assets that Eric had accumulated through his hard work before and during their marriage, and there were some life insurance policies, some big insurance policies. Kouri's family, her mother, and her 2 brothers assert that Kouri is completely innocent and that Kouri and Eric were in a very loving marriage. But there are some circumstances in this case that indicate that that may not have been the case, and that may not have been anything that anyone who knew the 2 really believed. In the next video I'm going to put out about Kouri Richins, we're going to take
hold it. So I just want to read this comment because some new information came out just today in the Daily Mail that I know that Jeannie and Kathleen had already dug up because Kathleen had told me about it. And I'm going to share that with you in a moment. Nice pause, Kelly. How we do it says, my mom is from Ybor City, and the whole area is filled with LDS women addicted to opioids. And yes, Kouri and Eric were LDS. And that's really interesting. You know what? I think I'm going to hop over to that Daily Mail article. Hold on. I just got to send myself let me play this for another moment. I'm going to send myself the link and then we'll hop over. Here's the walk the dog letter. Okay. So here are some facts that we know about the Kouri Richins case and the latest and greatest facts that have been revealed and put out to the public. Wait until you hear this. It is an absolutely fascinating true crime case, and I'm so glad that you're on board with me following this
Case.
Kouri Richins is her name. She's accused of poisoning and killing her husband Eric back in 2022 after he died of a fentanyl overdose. Her attorney says she maintains her innocence. In a primetime exclusive interview with Natalie Morales, Kouri Richins' mom shares new details about what she says happened the night Eric Richins died.
Kouri Richins says she found her husband Eric unresponsive in their bed. She called 911 and then her mother,
get up here, something's happened to Eric.
It was too late to save the father of 3.
Did the boys know what was happening? They could see the ambulances and cops coming in. Very distraught.
Hours earlier, the couple was celebrating a new house flipping deal Kouri was working on.
She told me she made him a Moscow Mule.
Police said that Eric's death was caused by an overdose of fentanyl, but according to the spokesperson for Eric's family, Greg Scortis, that didn't make sense.
So Lisa says Kouri wrote a children's book, Are You With Me?, that follows a boy who lost his father, but is reminded his presence still exists all around. Kouri promoted the book on local TV. But a month after that appearance,
a Summit County woman who wrote a children's book about coping with grief following her husband's death, now accused of being the one that actually killed him.
Eric's family suspects Richins placed the fentanyl in that Moscow Mule.
He told his family, if
all right,
I
here,
die,
I just want to get to Sky
you need to
Lazaro
take a
here,
look
and
at
I'm going
her
to talk
because-
about the other stuff. Oh, here she is.
Sky Lazaro is her attorney.
They have to prove that she obtained drugs and gave them to her husband. And unless they can connect those dots, they're going to have a hard time proving murder in this case.
You know, police interviewed Eric's family, and they firmly believe that Kouri was involved in Eric's death. They said the couple had been arguing over that multi-million-dollar property. Eric apparently did not want to be a part of that. They also said that Eric told them that if anything happened to him, that he believed that Kouri was out to get him and that Kouri would be to blame, as you heard his lawyer or the spokesperson say for the family. And they also told police that they suspected Kouri had tried twice to kill him before and had failed. Now, this is all according to court documents. And Kouri's family, however, disputes all of this, says there is no proof or nor evidence of any of this.
Wow, it's just an amazing story. And then to go out and write a children's book about it. And also pretty unusual stuff when you tell your family, if I end up dead, you need to look right over here at my spouse. That's notable stuff.
Sure is. Okay. So now, just today, this Daily Mail article came out. And once again, as I said, Jeannie and Kathleen had already uncovered this information. But now, well, here it is also in the Daily Mail. Okay. So we talked about it a while ago. Well, like a week ago, I guess. Maybe it was. Okay. So Daily Mail. There it is, baby. All right. Oh boy. So this, Howie's comment about the LDS Mormon women in that area having a, kind of almost epidemic of opioid addiction really made me think about this. So, yeah. So here we go. I'm just gonna read it to you. Okay. So Utah cops say court. Whoops. I want to hear him talk. I don't want to hear you talk about Prince William, or Harry. Why aren't you closing? Okay, there we go. We're talking about other things here, buddy. Why is it not scrolling? Okay. I have a hard time with Daily Mail sometimes. Like the website is a little wonky, like it's being right now. Oh, please work with me, Daily Mail. For the love of God. Come on, baby. You can do it. Here, I got to close out every other tab because that's how Daily Mail is. Let's see. There we go. Closey. Close. But not you guys. Close. You can close too. Okay. All right. God, go away. No. My daily struggles are deep. Okay. I guess that guy's just going to sit there in the corner. That's fine with me. Oh my God. But I hate this website. Okay. I usually, like, if I plan on reading something in the Daily Mail, I PDF it and then I read it. Utah cops say Kouri Richins' mom may have been involved in planning son-in-law's poisoning after he died from drinking a fentanyl-laced Moscow Mule. So now we're bringing mom into it, Lisa Darden. The mother of accused Utah killer Kouri Richins is now suspected of having been involved in planning and orchestrating the murder. Richins' mother, Lisa Darden, age 64, was linked by detectives to the 2006 sudden death of her romantic partner, who was a female, who overdosed. The death of Eric Richins was also caused by an overdose after his wife served him a Moscow Mule laced with fentanyl, allegedly. Dude, come on. Go away. Come on. It's like embarrassing. Sorry. Okay. All right. I just want to get to the part that I want to share with you guys. Okay. In investigating the Kouri Richins associates, it was discovered that in 2006, Richins' mother, Lisa Darden, was having an adult female with whom she was having a romantic relationship, the detective wrote in the affidavit. In April of that year, her romantic partner died unexpectedly. There's our girl Kouri. There's our girl Lisa, her mama. Her partner was Gertrude Lee Moore, who died at the age of 49 suddenly on April 30th, 2006. In Moore's obituary, Darden described her as her best friend. The autopsy reveals that Moore's immediate cause of death was drug poisoning from an overdose of oxycodone. Further investigation showed that Lisa Darden had been named as beneficiary of her partner's estate a short time before her death, the detective continued poignantly. The family did not have current prescriptions for oxycodone and reportedly struggled with abusing her meds. Oh, the female did not have that. She, however, was not in a state of recovery from addiction at the time of her death. Based on my training and experience, this would likely rule out the possibility of an accidental overdose. So the detective is saying she has a history of opioid abuse. However, for these reasons, I don't suspect that it was like she was taking an overdose. Okay. The detective suggested that based on Darden's proximity to Moore's suspicious overdose and her close relationship with Richins, she could have been involved in planning and orchestrating Eric's overdose death. Sky Lazaro, the attorney representing Kouri Richins, denied the detective's suggestions, saying that Darden's partner was a victim of the national opioid crisis. Summit County is well aware that opioid addiction and fentanyl overdose is a rampant problem throughout this country. According to the CDC, 150 people die every day from overdoses related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl. I think that's a really lowball statistic, Lazaro said in a statement to Fox News. I don't think she's like the sharpest knife in the drawer, though, so maybe she's just wrong. The night that Eric died, the mother and daughter were celebrating Richins' recent closure on a $2 million mansion. Richins owned a real estate company, and her husband owned a successful masonry business. One day after his death, affidavits and search warrants show that Kouri signed the closing papers on the property a day after his death, guys, and invited friends to a party where she was drinking and celebrating a day after his death. Oh my God. Richins and her husband had previously been arguing about her plans to purchase and flip a 10-acre, $2 million home in the days before he was found dead in their Utah home last March. Prosecutor said Eric found out his wife had taken out a $250,000 home equity line of credit and spent it, withdrawn $100,000 from his bank accounts, and spent more than $30,000 on his credit cards. This is why he created that secret trust. Kouri Richins also stole about $134,000 from her husband's business meant for tax payments, the documents state. The documents state that she agreed to repay her husband back when he confronted her about the missing money. Prosecutors allege Kouri purchased 4 different life insurance policies, which totaled over $1.9 million between 2015 and 2017. This is talking about the insurance policies for her son, one on Eric, one on each of her 3 young children. Damn. I mean, they were young too, babies. Wow. Kouri, now 35, was charged with aggravated murder and drug possession in 2023. Authorities claim that she poisoned Eric with fentanyl to collect millions in life insurance funds. There's a picture of that house, all raw as it is. Prior to his death in March of 2022, Eric had changed his will to make the sister the sole beneficiary of his life insurance policy and was even thinking of getting a divorce from Kouri, according to his family. Family attorney spokesperson Greg Skordas previously told Daily Mail that Eric was afraid Kouri was trying to kill him after 2 separate instances. Darden told the broadcaster, "I believe Eric may have gotten pain pills and didn't realize that they had fentanyl in them." Darden, again, is Kouri's mom. "If you knew Kouri, she would never ever do this. Not only to Eric, but to those boys." Weird thing to say. Her brother Ronnie also told the show, last time Kathleen was on, he was in here in chat, but she has a different position now. So she loves her boys way too much to take their father away from them. They were probably in the best spot we've seen them in a long time at the end of his death. At the time of his death, I'm sorry. The family also claimed that Eric loved to party. We know what that means. And Ronnie adding, Eric loved to party. He loved to have a good time. The simplest answer is often the correct one. And it was most likely an accidental overdose. This is Kouri's family talking. Darden previously said Eric, who came from a prominent Mormon family in Camas, would cheat on his wife and left her with a black eye after she confronted his alleged former mistress. She identified the mistress as Jennifer White, age 40, who Eric worked with in the masonry business. And here's lovely Jennifer. Richin quizzed her husband, who confessed to the affair, according to Darden. It is claimed that Richin then phoned the alleged mistress the next day, shouting at her, demanding she leave her husband alone, the mom said. Eric responded angrily, and this was not the first time, Darden said. He pushed her and he punched her. There's no other such reports. She is a very beautiful woman. Here's her weird book. Lynn, look at her book. Look at that, picture that angel. This is Eric, the angel above the clouds there flying. And look at these. There's 5 like these black birds. I speculate that those are to represent each family member, but what a strange representation. Like they look like bats, don't you think? Whoops. Uh-oh. Oh wait, just click the X, Kelly. Okay, you got it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Approached by dailymail.com, White acknowledged the confrontational call, but she denied the affair, and that was the end of it. So this woman, Jen White, she does say, yeah, that Kouri did call me with this confrontational thing, and yeah, she did do that. Shortly after her husband's death, the mother of 3 published a children's book titled "Are You With Me?" We already talked about that. That's known. We've got some hummingbirds. We've got some eyeshadow, some great orthopedic sneakers, some more eyeshadow, a set of lungs, a woman hacking up something. My God, what is that? Okay, so that's that. Wow. It's just like a lot, right? Howie says, pretty sure murder goes against Mormon doctrine. Just ask Lori Valote. Oops, never mind. You're good. You're good. Yes, Jeannie also says that was funny. He's good. Those crazy Mormon women. Seriously. Hi, Ara, sweetheart. How are you doing? You got that info from Kouri's mom. Which info, sweetheart? Oh. Interesting. Okay. Oh, Melissa Griffith says Van Gogh painted crows. Oh, Van Gogh. Duh. Oh my gosh. Oh, it gets late at night and I get tired and I just say ridiculous things. Van Gogh painted crows in the throes of his mental illness. It suggested death. Oh, Melissa. Awesome. That's great. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah, that is a lot, right? Oh, okay. So, Jeannie, who is, when she knows things, she knows them and she knows them well, says that Kouri is not LDS. What is she, Jeannie? Is she a Mormon? Is she, let me know what she is. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know this case as well as like the Watts case or Murdaugh or Idaho. I mean, I'm following it and I've done research. I've done some videos and I'm going to definitely be following a trial and I'm getting more and more into it, but I just don't know my facts backwards and forwards. God, these Mormons. Have we heard anything else, how he says, about the Mormon dentist from Colorado who poisoned his wife with a shake? I didn't hear about that. There you go. Oh, and yeah, it's a typo. And then I know, yeah, I got you though. Did you miss the walk the dog letter? Oh, it just showed the walk the dog letter. I'm going to make a video about that soon. I think, well, here, we can like look at a little bit of it. Okay, so here's the thing with the walk the dog letter. I got to bring it back up now. This is kind of one of the most interesting things, in my opinion. Just one moment, please. Document Cloud. Perfect. Love you, Document Cloud. You're the best. Okay, so walk the dog. And Jeannie, just go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong, because you know better than I. Okay, here's the walk the dog letter. Okay, so the walk the dog letter is like this. Kouri at one point, and it was in really suspicious timing, Jeannie. I don't remember what happened, but something happened that might cause somebody who, is an actress in a bad situation to put on a show. But something happened and Kouri allegedly, hey, Skylar. Well, hold it. I got a little bunny thing going on. Leave her alone. She can have food too, Skylar. She can have food too. Yes. Bunnies be nice. Okay. she had a apparent seizure, and she's taking medication while she's in jail. Is it perhaps Seroquel for the antipsychotic for whatever she was taking it for? I don't think they would be giving her Seroquel for sleep in prison, right? Or jail. I'm sorry, jail. She's in the county jail. She's innocent until proven guilty. And she said that the jail gave her the wrong medication while she was in the hospital after having that seizure. Whoever went in law enforcement went into her cell and recovered this 6-page letter, infamously now called Walk the Dog, for the following reasons. Now, Kouri, well, it's interesting because Kouri and people in Kouri's family and different people in Kouri's family maintain different things about this letter because they have to watch what they're saying now in those jail recorded phone interviews. So they don't exactly have their story straight. So, I think the prosecution got a hold of this and said, oh my God, look at, she is trying to feed her family information to corroborate her bullshit story, towards her innocence. And that's really what it looks like. And her mom says, let me make this bigger. Her mom says, no, and somebody, an interviewer said, what's up with Walk the Dog? Everyone calls the Walk Dog letter. Well, right here at the top, it says Walk the Dog, huge letters. She said, oh, she has this dog, and I think the dog's old or something like that. I can't remember. But her big thing is this is what she said. Her big thing is, this was on a recent 48 hours, she wants to make sure I walk the dog. Okay. But people speculate that walk the dog has some other meaning. Let's see, it says here, walk the dog, but take vague notes so you remember. Walk the dog, but take vague notes so you remember. What the frick does that mean? Now, because this letter is so incredibly incriminating, and it really does read like she's trying to feed her family a script to try to get her off, she says that, no, y'all got it wrong. This is actually notes on a fictional or a book I'm writing. It's a fiction, obviously, and it's my book that I'm writing based. I don't know. So here, let me just read a little bit of it to you, because I understand that probably not much of this makes sense, because it doesn't make sense. Like, that's like the thing, right? So it says, walk the dog, but take vague notes so you can remember. Sky, and that's her attorney, is saying, even if the gummies have fentanyl. Oh, because Kouri's family is saying, oh, Eric's this big druggie. He apparently took one gummy a night, like a THC gummy, so he could relax and go to bed. Just like Kathleen, just like a bunch of people in chat. This is what people do. I know a lot of people that do that. So whatever. So apparently Eric took one gummy a night, and this makes him a drug addict. Sky is saying, even if the gummies have fentanyl in them, the prosecutors will say, I tried to put the fentanyl in the gummies. So Eric would have them. Stupid, I know, but that's what she's thinking. We will still test them, though. However, she wants to link Eric getting the drugs and his trip in Mexico. Listen, we need some kind of connection. So she's saying we have to link Eric getting those gummies and his trip to fentanyl. So guys, what we want to say, family members who love me and want to get me off these charges, or even if they don't love me or whatever, well, I'm sure they love her, but we're going to say Eric got these gummies in Mexico, and who knows what goes on with those Mexicans, so they're probably laced with fentanyl, because we've really heard of THC gummies being laced with fentanyl. It's a common thing, but okay. However, she wants to link Eric getting the drugs and his trip to Mexico, so we need some kind of connection. Her private investigator is doing some research on the ranch/cartel place Eric would stay at. So now she's saying, this is how I read it. Hey guys, Eric used to stay at this ranch, but now we're going to tell in court, we're going to say that this ranch was funded and supported and a favorite getaway of cartel members. Okay. Let's see. where am I here? That place that Eric would stay at. Here is what I am thinking, but you have to talk to Ronnie. Ronnie's one of her brothers. This is to her mama. He would probably have to testify to this, but it's super short, not a lot to it. So she's saying, Mom, you got to have Ronnie testify, making this connection between Eric getting drugs in Mexico. And oh, by the way, the ranch that he stays at, it's a cartel hangout. Okay. But we don't want to get into it. Keep it short and sweet because it's a load of bullshit. Right. He will need to tell Sky that at the meeting next week. Upon information and belief, just like they say, a year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie was over watching football one Sunday, and Eric and Ronnie were chatting. Sorry, this is really hard to read. That's why I'm reading and talking the way I am. About Eric's Mexico trips. Eric told Ronnie he gets pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico. Okay, so now she's saying, here's the story, guys. Ronnie, you got to say this in court. And you've got to tell my attorney, Sky, this next week. You were talking to Eric, and he's like, yo, man, I get pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico. All right. Because he went to Mexico frequently to hunt. He was a psychotic hunter. There's videos, pictures, grotesque. I am an animal lover, as is Kathleen, as is Jeannie. They're horrifying. There is animal heads all over their home. In fact, I need to show you guys a picture that Kathleen sent me. Kouri made their wedding cake, and it is a deer's head. I'm not even kidding. It's a deer head, some kind of an animal head. It's so weird, guys. And he would hunt giraffes and all these like precious animals, baby giraffes. Oh, it was just terrible. So he really went to Mexico for hunting trips, okay? Let's see. So Eric told Ronnie not to tell me because I would get mad because I always said he just gets high every night and won't take care of the kids. So now we're just slandering the dead man. There are pictures in my phone of Eric passed out on the floor or in the chair, like many people do when they're home. They take nappies or they sleep for the night. Ronnie should have texts from Eric talking about getting high as well. Eric told Ronnie he keeps them in an allergy pill bottle in his work truck, so I wouldn't find them. Perhaps she planted them there? Ronnie never told, or she's telling Ronnie to plant them there. Wink, wink, right? Ronnie never told me about the conversation. So how does she know then, right? So she's saying, oh my God, Ronnie has to say this in court, tell Sky next week. I know all this stuff, but Ronnie never told me the conversation. How is that even possible? Oh, okay. It says Eric finally told me and asked if Carmen could get him some. And that's the person she did purchase the fentanyl from. Eric never wanted anyone to know he had an issue, especially get caught. He always wanted Kouri to go down for him. So now she's talking about herself in third person. So obviously she's giving instructions. When they traveled, Eric would put his drugs in Kouri's bag at the something right before they boarded. That way, if they were caught, Kouri got in trouble and not him. Once they got to wherever they were going, Eric would pull the drugs out of her bag and it would cause a huge fight. She was pissed he would risk her going to jail for his drug use. Now she's talking about herself in the third person. So obviously this is just so obviously a message she's sending to her family about what they need to say in court to get her off. This is the story, guys. I can't tell you it on the recorded jail telephone. So here. He would just laugh about it. Eric would ruin his image if he had a drug issue. So he would do whatever he had to. Kouri has never done any type of pills. Didn't like them. How would you know if you haven't done any? Rarely would she consume THC, only if Eric begged her, and it was a special occasion. Asterisk, reword. Reword, I'm sorry. Reword, so reword this. This, however, he needs to make the point, just include it all. but reword it in your own way, Ronnie. The connection has to be made with Mexico and drugs. Ronnie will have the messages to prove Eric confided in him about getting high. He can be short, once again, she reiterates that, and the point, but it has to be well done. Upon information and belief, LOL. Because she said that before too, because that's what you're supposed to say as a witness, so you can enter the testimony into the trial, because you are talking about the statements of a deceased person. So there are, certain trial rules that will allow you to get that testimony admitted, even though, so it's not hearsay, and it will be legitimate and contribute to the mitigating aggregating factors in the trial when the jury decides innocent or guilty. She thinks that's funny. Upon information and belief, LOL. They never found pain pills or fentanyl in my house because he hid it in an allergy bottle in the work truck. She reiterates that again. So, Ronnie, you got to plant these, that's how I read it. And Cody emptied out the work truck within a week. Okay. So they were never found. When you talk to Ronnie about this meetup with him in person, I'm just going to read now. I'm not going to give, you guys probably get it. I'm not going to give my 2 cents. Think for yourselves, right? That's what I love for you guys to do, because you're smart. I worry sometimes that your house and phone are bugged. Maybe drive down to SL and meet him after work without Bree. Sky has to make that connection between Eric and Mexico, because that makes the most sense in her mind. If Ronnie's information and belief about the conversation over football, she can use that as a connection. Tell Ronnie, don't overanalyze. So I'm sorry. Again, she's saying this is the only way we can get it admitted into trial. I'm giving you the freaking blueprint, Mom. Don't mess up. It was a quick 2-minute conversation. LOL. Once again, don't get into detail. We got to make this brief, because once you get into detail and you're lying, the state's going to poke holes in it. If this doesn't spell out guilt, I don't know what does. Tell him I need him to do this. Bring me home, and then we will get those damn bitches. Whatever that means. Also, please text Lotto or call. Tell him do not text me anything about us doing things together, ever. Like church, skiing trips. Nothing that puts us together. It doesn't look good. We're so close to the end. Let's push through. Have the conversation with Ronnie before he meets with Sky. Then tell him to tell Sky at the meeting about the conversation. Hang in there. We're almost there. Love you to the moon. Take vague notes of all this so you remember before you walk the dog. So what does walk the dog mean? That's the question. Because her mom's explanation, oh, Kouri has this dog that's older and I'm taking care of the dog and she just really wants me to walk the dog. That's her thing. That just doesn't make sense. So, let's see. Jeannie says, Eric was, wait. There was one before that I wanted to grab. Okay. Jeannie said, oh yeah, he is addicted to hunting sizzle. Hell, gross. Yeah. Eric was sanctioned because Cody Wright gave a deposition to Fish and Games. Okay, about his illegal hunting. Okay, because he was an illegal hunter. Let's see. Yeah, so Jeannie says to Green Eyed Bandit, well, you read it yourself, and please the people in the letter who she is referring to. It looks like an attempted witness tampering. Oh, hell yeah, it does. I'm not sure what that's about, but thank you for that, Jesse. Muckboy says, she wrote this in jail? This was in outgoing mail? This is odd. She didn't think they would check them. It was just in her cell because she had that, I believe she faked a seizure, said that they gave her the wrong medication in jail. She went to the hospital, and while she was at the hospital, she didn't anticipate them going through her cell. She didn't know they did that, apparently. Howie says, I can't imagine being so cocky and ballsy and outrageous defense that I can actually write LOL from the slammer. Bingo. So about his hunting, Jeannie Ramsey says he always wanted the most exotic animal. His living room was a freaking graveyard. Let me show you some of those pictures that Kathleen sent me. Oh, a trigger warning. These pictures are extremely hard for me to look at. You might find the same. I mean, they had like a coffee table, and the legs of the coffee table were baby giraffes' legs, all 4 of them, that he hunted illegally. How disgusting is that? God, so gross. Yeah, I mean, they really are. The pictures to me are very upsetting. So I just want you to know that if you don't want to look at them, please don't, just know that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Tim sent them to me. Kathleen, oh, yeah, Kathleen hasn't even seen a lot of them. Okay, so I'm going to be bringing the upsetting pictures into the stream. Well, these ones aren't. There are lots of animal heads on walls. They're not the super upsetting ones, but you're going to kind of get the idea here. So let me just switcheroo. So you guys get the idea. I mean, seriously, how incriminating is that freaking letter? Oh my God. I mean, geez. So there's 2 of the boys. I should have blurred their faces, but I didn't. So be it. Maybe they've been out there, but I just didn't think about it. Sorry. So there we go. They got a lot of big ass animal heads on the wall. I feel like those little kids, I feel like that would be terrifying. I mean, some of the pictures of these children actually out on the hunt with Eric, with like the dead baby giraffes. I mean, oh my God, they're so hard to see, guys. So here we go. Oh my God, look at that. What is that, like a oxen, buffalo? What is that? Look at that. Look at that. Oh God. This is the boy's bedroom. Yeah. Oh, walk the dog. What to do? Okay. Huh. I was thinking something like the defense. I don't know. Let's figure out, what do y'all think that walk the dog might mean? I would love it if everyone could like just give an opinion of what it might stand for based on what we read there. No, I don't get thrilled with animal killings. I don't either. I think it's so disgusting. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, Howie. I really appreciate that. Walk the dog. What to do? Acronym. Yeah, I mean, you very well might be right about that. Yeah, I have a very tough time. I wouldn't be a rancher's wife. Yeah. Yes. Right. Let me see. There's. I don't. Do you want to see any? There. I mean, these aren't the bad pictures. I don't know if you want to see them or not. Let me see. I have to look up her husband's name because he sent them to me because she hasn't even seen a lot of them because she just can't. Kathleen, I'm talking about. Oh, so here's her wedding cake. Oh my God, this is so weird, guys. Oh my God, this is so weird. She baked it. She made it herself too. Check it. Holy cow. Oh, you guys could see me searching my email. I shouldn't do that. Just say, can't remember who's emailed me. Walk the dog is a yo-yo trick. Yeah, that's right. Yo-yos are a weapon of war. I think the whole letter is a ploy. She knew they'd take it and read it. Just my guess. I'm not pro Kouri. I just say not guilty. Okay. Look at that's her wedding cake. Huh? Oh my God. Jeannie says, I think it actually meant for her mom to walk the dog. She had Kouri's dog. Here's why I don't think that's the case. Maybe you're right, Jeannie, but this is why I don't think that that's the case. It's because of this sentence here. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, I mean, I guess it could make sense. Take vague notes of all this so you remember before you walk the dog. Like, why would this have to be before? I just don't think that makes sense. And then this letter goes on, guys. It's 6 pages. I don't want to read the whole thing, but it's out there. I'm making a video. Well, I have a video I started. Yeah. Wait. Dude, oh my God. I didn't read, I don't think I didn't read this very last part here. She says, will you buy a box of Crest white strips, open them up, put in envelope, and have Sky give them to me? You can tell her what's in the envelope. I'm sure she won't care. I'll make sure that they can't be found in my cell. My teeth are yellow from so much coffee and tea all day. Dude, she's asking for oh my Lord, good heavens above. Wow, man. Bitch be crazy. Oh my gosh. All right, here. Let's see. Let me search Tim again. Tim Hewtsen. What? No, but there is. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking here. Oh, I don't know. I can't find them now. Maybe I erased them because they are very upsetting. I know I had showed them before, but they're terrible anyway. We don't want to see them. They're upsetting. Gotta keep those teeth away from prison. I know. Kelly did just say that bitch be crazy. She's crazy. She is. I'd be brushing all day if I was in prison. Yeah, what else you got to do, right? She's whitening her teeth for trial. That's what I'm assuming she's doing. Yeah. God. Let's see. Let me go back up a little bit. Oops. All of the evidence is pointing to guilt. I mean, I really do believe that it is. I mean, at first when Kathleen and Jeannie were researching this, I'm sure you don't mind me saying Jeannie, and, they were talking to the Darden family, to Kouri Richins' family. And the last time Kathleen was on here, that's why she made the mea culpa statement in the beginning of this live stream. Ronnie Darden was in chat, and they, I know that Kathleen really was based on the information they were initially being fed. This is why you vet people and you get a number of sources, and it's okay to start looking into something and have an opinion and change your mind. She was believing that it was likely that Kouri did not do it, but and I think she really wanted to believe that in her heart. But as time went on, and with the amount of incriminating information that they heard and learned and vetted about Kouri Richins related to the death of her husband, I mean, it's overwhelming. It really is. So Jesse Essex says, there is zero evidence of her poisoning him. None. I couldn't put a person in prison forever or give them capital punishment for this lack of evidence ever. Well, I think, I understand what you're saying. And I think it's definitely good to, to not rush to conclusions and to be judicious about, determining if somebody's guilty in such a heinous, atrocious, egregious crime. But, I think that we really, all of us, myself, everyone, we really do we need to wait to trial, see what information comes out and how the information comes out. I mean, I don't think that they would, I don't think, in this kind of a circumstance, when somebody dies of an overdose, unless you are literally have a videotape of yourself, picking up a packet of pills or something, going, oh shit, this is a fentanyl. Yes. And then, and then the, camera's going to follow you while you, let's say she did make a Moscow Mule, go into the kitchen and get your vodka and ginger beer and mix up that Moscow Mule and then say, oh, right, the fentanyl pills, and pop them in there and say, now I'm going to let them wait to dissolve. Wait till my husband's sleepy enough so he maybe doesn't taste the little funkiness in here. And then the camera follows you as you walk upstairs and give the drink to your husband. And then the camera follows him while he takes a sip of the drink. In cases like this, there's never going to be absolute 100% definitive proof. But my God, the circumstantial evidence from the information that has been gathered through investigators and through independent sources like Kathleen and Jeannie, pointing to her actions and frame of mind and, what she was doing with I think it's like a Murdoch pile of evidence personally. I could be wrong. And if evidence does come out that is stronger than what we see right now, telling me, I think bitch be guilty, that says bitch not be guilty, I will be like, bitch not be guilty. 100%. I'm never attached to the outcome, but and it's okay that I appreciate what you're saying, but that's it. Right. Even if you have video, it doesn't guarantee conviction. Absolutely. But she will still have a white smile, and that is what's important. It is. We don't know what state of mind Eric was in that night, but, in a criminal trial, testimony will be allowed that testify to his state of mind around the time of his murder. And, and even, things that he said to people, there could be dying testimony statements that are admitted there, if somebody says something to someone that really just spells out to them who eventually killed them, and then they are gone and they can't speak for themselves at trial. That's what a dying statement, admissible testimony is all about. You have to allow that. Like, shit, man, someone told me that this person, was going to kill them, and then they're dead, so yeah. Oh, thanks, Jesse. See, we're all good here. That's how I like a channel to be. It's all good. Yeah, he did say if I die, it's allegedly, his family and friends, more than one person apparently has, signed an affidavit attesting to that. Yes. It is. It's very important. It is important. And Jeannie said, guys, Jeannie has been researching, and Jeannie is, I know, I'm sure it's okay. Jeannie is the person that made contact with like Lisa Darden and a lot of these people that Kathleen and Jeannie have gotten information from, because Kathleen researches her material really well before she writes a book. That's why her true crime books are so amazing. And Jeannie's working with her, and they're doing it together. So she knows. And Jeannie says, I have been on it for months and months, and that is the truth, because I actually told Kathleen about Jeannie, and then like a week later, they both called me like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, it's great. So I know exactly when this was, and this is 100% true. I have not found one person to tell me that Eric did pills. None. And I've been asking the right people. What's that leave? There you go. Right. Yeah. I wonder what the punishment would be if somebody were to get caught in county jail while awaiting a trial with crest strips in their possession. Crest white strips, nonetheless. Oh, yeah. And this is another good thing about Jeannie. Jeannie says to Jesse Essex, I don't really get to have an opinion. LOL. I'm a research girl. I'm research girl. I don't get to pick a side. I have to say what I find either way. So, that's like really quite, I think that's not something everybody can do. It takes a certain person, I think, to be able to do that and to not put bias and subjectivity, their own freaking opinion into what they're doing. Jesse says to McJay, my feeling is that Eric was very spoiled in his family and his sisters couldn't handle the truth, so they had to find someone else to blame, like a black sheep. His mother was controlling too. And Jeannie says, if I could have an opinion, you're so funny, I'd say I agree with that part. Yeah, I was going to just say that too, but. Yeah. Aw, thank you, Green Eyed Bandit. I appreciate it. Well, I want people to feel comfortable here. Absolutely, always. That was good how you put that, Jeannie. Everything that I've heard is that yes, he is spoiled, but and so are his sisters. What truth? What truth about what truth? Giovanni's Pikachu. I love your name. So good. Oh, thank you, Green Eyed Bandit. Green Eyed Bandit says, Kelly, always make people feel comfortable on your channel, positive or negative. We're all welcome. That is so true. And I'm really glad that you feel that way, Green Eyed Bandit. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate all of you guys. Jeannie's got to go. Everyone say bye to Jeannie. Okay, I have to go, everyone. I'm exhausted. It was fun. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And then McJay, and I'm going to end soon, but McJay says to Jesse, so you're thinking controlling the man-child angle? Interesting. Sizzle was happy to meet Jeannie. And then Sizzle says, I'm waiting for the trial, but so far haven't heard anything that would allow me to determine a verdict of guilt. Okay, yeah, that's legit. So, yeah, and I think I'm going to get going too because I have to take my son and his friend to I have a 3-day week and we're going on a little adventure tomorrow. I got to visit my mom, my stepdad, and blah, blah, blah. So I do have to get some good sleep. So, but thank you guys so much for being here. And, I really do think this is going to be a super interesting, like, edge of your seat trial. I think the information that's going to come out is going to be shocking in some ways, in many ways. Yeah, I'm going to stay on it. And I'm so glad that you guys were here. Thank you so much. Thank you for being so kind to Kathleen as well. And for all of your support. And everybody definitely do. Please go check out her website. I don't have the link in, but just her name is Kathleen Hewtsen. I'm going to put in the description, but check her out. Her books, seriously, they're truly amazing. I've read some of them a couple times on my channel. Sabrosa says, great conversation tonight. I agree. And thank you guys all for being respectful. And thank you. So many moderators here, and I love you guys so much. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you. Always, always, always. Yes, love and peace. That's what it's all about. And white strips. And white strips, too. White strips, for sure. Bye, Edward. Thanks for being here. When does the trial start? Jeannie. Oh, she left. Jeannie knows everything. Now I don't know anything. I don't know. Sabrosa says, I don't think he would agree with Kouri cold clocking his sister either. Probably not. Yes, you too. Yeah, it's great. I know. You guys are. I really look forward to live streams. I actually listen. I prefer like overall. I love editing videos. I love doing that kind of stuff. I love it. And I had no idea how to do it. I didn't even know how to upload, download a video or whatever when I started this channel. It's 3 years ago this month, but now I love it. And one of the main reasons I started this channel is to learn how to do video editing, and also because all of the issues we talk about, human behavior justice, of course. But, I chose this format because of video editing. So I really prefer that, doing live streams. When I started doing, I really didn't like doing them, but even though it's not like my favorite format, because I love like the creative part video editing so much, I just love it because I love all of you guys. That's the only reason I keep doing live streams, is so I can see you guys and talk to you guys. And, oh, thank you so much. Oh, thanks, Subrosa. My favorite channel for live streams. What a nice compliment. Thank you very much. Ara, what are you up to, girl? I can talk a little bit if you want to after this, Ara. I know we've been trying to catch up on some things. Oh, hey, thank you so much, Sizzle. Thank you. I couldn't get a sticker sent. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. It was great to see you. It's great to have you here, and thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Aw. McJ, love this channel. Thank you for modding. Oh, McJ is wonderful. Yes, thank you, McJ, for everything you do. You are absolutely amazing. Oh, and McJ says, see, this is just one of the many, many examples. Jeannie said that the trial should be starting mid-May. Oh, good. That's awesome. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. You guys are great. Aw, you guys are wonderful. I'm blushing. Blushy emoji. Oh, all right. So I think I have a 3-day weekend. I have to do Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Woo woo. I don't even know why we have Monday off, but I'm not asking questions. I'm stoked. So I do think I'm going to do another live stream. Not tomorrow night, because I have obligations to my kid and his friends. Sunday night, I'm going to do a live stream. It's either going to be Watts or Idaho. I'm premiering a Watts video too. And oh, do you want to see that? Well, it's not really a trailer. It's just kind of like more of like one of my musical intros. I just uploaded it. I'm going to show it to you because I like it. Or I wouldn't have made it. Oh, did I upload it? Where is it? It's got to be here. Wait, hold it. Dude, I know I uploaded it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. My gosh, right in front of my eyes. Okay. I've never premiered a video. I want to premiere a video. I've always wanted to premiere a video. I'm not really sure how it works and why we do it, but I think I'm going to premiere this video. It's called Watts Found, Shanann's Deleted Posts, Clear Signs of Corruption in Discovery. Oh my God, coming this weekend. Just when I thought I had literally seen and known and memorized and have in my 4,000 plus files, and am like almost ashamed to tell people how much of what stuff there is in my life. Just when I think all of that, I find things that I had not yet come across, and they are, well, one of the things are Shanann Watts' posts on August 12th, the day before. It's okay, McJ. Just hang in here. I'm desensitizing you. Okay, we're good. We're good. Everything's okay. On August 12th, the day before the murders, and they were gone so quickly because literally, guys, so soon after this tragedy happened, I dumped Shanann's Facebook, everything, and there, I don't know, maybe there were certain things deleted, obviously, at that time, but anything that was there, I've got it in a file somewhere. And most of it has been put out on my channel. Some things I haven't put out for reasons, but I keep getting a little braver and braver. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Leave Jim alone. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Anyway, so these posts the night before the murder that Shanann put on Facebook were deleted, and some other things. And oh my gosh, I mean, this is the first video I'm putting out in a long time where it's, people comment saying, oh, like you say the same thing. Well, kind of the point is, I really do believe that there's a huge issue that I just cannot get over of incomplete justice in that case for the victims. And I just so strongly believe it. And the things that are said that support that position are real and valid. And there's so many things that are said that are bullshit out there that support other positions. It's almost like you have to keep speaking the truth to counter all of the lies, right? But this is actually new to me stuff. So anyway, here's my little, I guess it's kind of like a new songy intro because I love doing that stuff. And yes, I know sometimes they're long. On live streams, you know why that is. People like to complain about it because it takes people a while to get in here. So you've got to like allow a little cushion in the beginning of the live stream. And yes, I know my live streams get long. And it's because I love talking to you guys. So I've uploaded videos if you don't like the long stuff. There's something for everyone. Something for everyone on What's the Obsession. So yeah, so they're intentionally long to give people time to get in here. Like, I'm not that stupid. Oh,
I'm aware of the bonds that were created today. When you told me that sure there's a way, the water's so still, and my pain's gone away. The air is much cleaner after it rains. Follow my love, the sentence in spring air. Follow the moon into the sun. There's a call for new beginnings here, but the sorrow of yesterday disappear. Let your body be new. I'm a wanderer of the soul. Before the end, I plan to be whole, but I know I'll lose myself along the way. What's gone is gone. What's past is past. Let me leave what belongs in the past. The road ahead is quite unclear. Let me walk it despite fear. The road stretches over the hills, and I've got many debts to pay. Some are wrong their own way. My pay is not gold. Can't take everything with you when you go.
Okay, so that's that. And the song has significance to the material I'm going to be talking about in the video that I'm either just going to be uploading or premiering this weekend. Do you guys do premieres? Do you like when creators premiere stuff? And oh, hey, Kathy, thank you for the super sticker. I didn't see that earlier. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's so heartbreaking. My God, it's just the cases. Oh God, it's a tough one. It's there. I can't find words. I often can't find words to describe it. Carolina says, hi, how are you, sweetheart? Says, what's the obsession? There hasn't been a murder by poisoning case won yet by the defense yet. Okay, so the defense hasn't. Okay. Remember the Stout case? Oh, yes. Mother and daughter, Rachel killed father, brother, almost her little sister too. Yeah. Wow. That's a really good point. Excellent point. You always make great points. Yeah. Those poor little girls. I know. So sad. I think they accidentally killed. Oh, really? Who accidentally killed Shanann? That's really interesting. I want to know everything. I want to know what people think about this case. I want to know everything. It's so interesting to me. Premieres are for stuff like Deception Detective does. He is able to engage with his viewers, but not in a live stream sort of way, if that makes sense. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So the fact that I do live streams kind of covers that maybe demand that people would have for a channel. So premiering isn't really necessary. Is that kind of what you're saying? Like a fight. Oh, okay. Like maybe like say Nicole Kessinger, maybe just her, or are you thinking other people were there as well? I think it is fully possible. I lean toward okay. I can't say it definitively. I strongly lean towards believing that Nicole Kessinger was there in the basement, and I absolutely believe something went down in the basement based on the data, the amount of time where there's no activity on the main floor, and a number of things when you look at the timeline, all nice and tightened up and laid out. And then Kathleen says the girls were accidental, but Shanann, definitely not, in my opinion. That's how I tend to think too. I think the girls were either oh God, so hard to talk about. It's either accidental or it's possible to me that Chris Watts is such a weak, slimy chameleon salamander parasite of a human being that he was, just manipulated, influenced, mind controlled almost. It's kind of what he says without saying it had anything to do with Kessinger. But I absolutely know it was by Nicole Kessinger. Yeah, I know. Green Eye Bandit says, none of us are ever going to know until the very people that do know speak up. Very well said. Yeah. The pings. Oh my God, the pings. Guys, I don't know if you've seen my video or a couple of videos on the pings. I'm going to say, and I don't think this about all of Watts' content by any means, but I think that I have the best information, the best content. I finally kind of put it together in one video. I don't know, probably like a year ago, because I used to work in site acquisition for telecom, and I was able to get the cell tower records on that exact day, in that part of Colorado, which is something that's not accessible to the public. But my friend Marco, who I used to work for, who has his own firm, blah, 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 blah. And, I worked on behalf of Verizon. He was able to get them for me. And he also contributed so much to my analysis, and he's freaking brilliant and knows exactly what's up. And he does work on forensic cases. So that's why, but I think I have really tight information on that. Do you think he put them in the God, I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, that's one. At one point, I would have said yes, absolutely, but people have made enough good cases, in defense of otherwise, that he did not put them in the tanks. That I appreciate. I've grown to appreciate what they say, and when you align, these arguments with the other facts, you're like, well, yeah, man, that makes actually better sense. I really don't know. I know. I hate it that we will never know too. Damn Michael Rourke and his need to not do his work and accepting this bogus plea deal. I've heard that, Jesse, but do you think that's the case? Why do you say that? Do you feel like when you see him drawing a square? But here's the thing, sweetie, like he worked at those oil tanks like for a while, day in, day out. My God, he would have to know the shape of a thief hatch. He'd have to. You know what I mean? They're like creators I'm talking about, not y'all, but creators. So many creators out there that claim the just most ridiculous stuff. It's just like, it's insane. Yeah, come on, DA Rourke, do your job. Us junior detectives are telling you to get to work on behalf of the people because, oh, by the way, we are the people, bitch. I never had this like strong dislike for him. I thought he was kind of didn't think he was, I had a lot of problems with a lot of things he said and his contradictions but you know, I was like, well, okay, I'm sure he has reasons and whatever. But after his wife's podcast came out, well, I guess it came out like almost a year ago, April, but I didn't hear about it until, was it first from Plunder or Behind Criminal Minds, right around the same time. They put out some content on it, and you know, I just thought that was despicable. McJ says, did you hear about the investigation into forensic fraud in 85 of Rourke's cases may be affected? I did not hear that, but could you tell me where you found that out from, my dear? Because there's like someone I have in mind. If that was the person, I'm not going to buy it at all, but it's possible. I mean, he, you know, did not take many cases to trial at all. And in the beginning of that podcast, I love how his wife says that he's one of the best, most respected trial attorneys in the country. I'm like, yo, your husband doesn't even go to trial. He pleads like 87% of the time or something. I mean, he accepts pleas. That's crazy. Chris took a hit for both of them. I absolutely think that for sure. Or yeah, McJ, I'll text you. I really would love to know where you heard that information, because if there's a glimpse of truth into that, I want to soak it up and tell everyone about it. And Chris Watts is not a genius. He thinks he is. So part of it, well, I don't do them right now, but part of my professional career was administering part of, IQ tests, certain IQ tests. That's what I'm trying to say. Because there's different kind of IQ tests. Or there's different IQ tests. Never mind. But I'm going to start to spout off things that you're going to be like, what? Why would you tell us that? That's so like nerdy, boring. But I feel as though I have a sense of what an IQ kind of looks like on a person. You know what I mean? And Chris, what did Chris say? His IQ was 140 or 145. Bullshit erroneous. It is super not like that. NK committed a lot of crimes that, you know, at one point when I first started like getting really into digging into her, not for the sake of digging into her, but I really think that the crimes she committed there's more than one like felony level crime. Like nobody is just like let off of that, no problem, with the kinds of crimes she committed. Oh, something else that's really exciting. I can't believe I didn't tell you guys this yet. I don't know if you've seen the channel Tilted Lawyer. He's been doing some Watt stuff recently. I think he's great. I reached out to him because I really want him to come on this channel as a guest. Oh my God. I like all day long. I'm like a little kid in the candy store. I'm like writing down questions I want for him. So he's going to come on the channel soon on a live stream. I'm so excited. He's a defense attorney. He's awesome. He's super knowledgeable of the law. He himself says, I guess people like give him a hard time because you know how we are. Oh, that's not right. You don't know the facts of the case. People are such snobs when it comes to the Watts case, and people really give it to him. But he's only been looking at the case for the past couple of weeks, so we've got to like seriously give him a break on that. But I cannot wait to have him come on. If you have any burning questions you want to ask an actual, real, live defense attorney who's going to come on YouTube, because I've told you before about how attorneys are usually so reticent to come onto YouTube, and for the various reasons. I'm just so excited. It's going to be awesome. Kathleen loves him. Awesome. Tilted Lawyer. Yes. Yeah, he's great. He's awesome. Go check out his channel if you have not. Reddit sometimes has interesting information about NK's current whereabouts, says Sub Rosa. Yeah. I've never gotten super into Reddit. Sometimes I'll be researching and I will come across Reddit, of course. And sometimes I read it. Oh, just recently I found some really nasty things people say about me on Reddit. And some nice things too. I was researching, I don't know what, about the Watts case, and I came across a couple Reddit posts where people were just like, "What's the obsession?" Is blah, 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 blah. I was like, "Aw, that's mean," but it's okay. Yes, yes. Conspiracy to commit murder. It's his case against NK. He does it like a theoretical, putting NK on trial. Guys, it's awesome. It's freaking awesome. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Welcome. No, I am super just wrapping up. I was going to wrap up like 20 minutes ago, but I love talking to y'all. So, oh, I'm cutting in and out. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I may have unplugged my mic. I probably did because I was literally about to get off. Have I been cutting in and out, y'all? Yes, a few years ago. Well, not me cutting in and out. Oh, you're asking about the updated. Gotcha. Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate that. Edward says, I wish there was an updated mugshot of Chris available now. Yeah, the only one we have is from Dodge Correctional when that was in 2019, wasn't it? Oh, no. There was that really creepy ass one that came out afterwards. Oh, we're just going to look at that really quick and then I'm going to go for real. But I do love you guys. So anyway, the whole point is 25 minutes ago, I'm going to do a live stream on Sunday night. You know, I say at 9, but what does that really mean? 9:30, 9:45, okay, Eastern. We all know that. So, okay. Chris Watts. Hi, guys. Hey, bunnies. Oh, God. This mugshot really does creep me out. Ugh, yucky. Ugh, God. Ugh. Oh, my God. He's so, ugh. Ugh. Here, I'll let you guys gag to yourself. Oh, he's so gross. Ew. Ugh. Okay. Get ready. Get a bucket nearby in case you have to throw up. God, he looks so old and disgusting. Ooh, okay, here we go. Life's a bitch, Chris, isn't it? Bastard. So there is the most recent picture we have of his handsomeness. Chris the motherfucker Watts. Oh, Sunday night. Oh, wow, McJ, that's freaking serious. Wow. Oh, my gosh. This was a couple years ago. Let me see if the article says. That can't be. Really? Wait, oh my God, no. There is a more recent one too. This is from 2018. This is like a month after he was arrested. Man, he looked like shit real quick. Hold it. There's another one. There's an even more disgusting one, but it's so disgusting. I think I blocked it. I like repressed it, suppressed it, whatever we do when it's just too much to handle. Icky. Let's see. Okay, so I have the wrong search terms in here because it's not a mugshot. It's just a shot. Dude, my 15-year-old is gaming in the other room and he just dropped the F-bomb. I do not like that. I guess he's been listening to Mama. Just kidding, kind of. But I did just say that word. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, he's so gross. Okay. Woo! Oh, here it is. Reddit. There you go. Woo. Okay. Here we go. I just need to try to make it bigger for you. Yuck. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not. I can't. He's just so. He's so. Oh my yuck. Okay. Da 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 da. There he is, Mr. Motherfucker of America. Yeah, it's our boy. Gross. I know. And the appearance of his eyes from before he committed this atrocity and then after, I mean, it is really creepy how his eyes change. And many of you do know my experience with super spooky stuff as I've been researching this case. Yeah. I mean, like, really, yeah. It's too late and too much to tell this story. I don't tell it very much because I don't know. It's hard. I can't really get the words out, but yeah. Anyway, we'll revisit that. Oh, hey, Just Nate, how are you doing? Yep, he sure did throw his whole life away. My God. Threw it away for the skanky Listen, everybody, the skanky ass empanada. Ha! I took the tilde off. There's going to be a lot of happy people. The skanky empanada. Not empanada, but empanada. Evil, yes. Green Eye Bandit, think he looks like Brian Laundrie. Ooh, I do see that resemblance. I know, McJay. Hi, Margaret. All right. Well, I want to trust Margaret. I just didn't know this, but Margaret is telling us, and thank you so much, Margaret. The reason for taking out insurance on your baby is so they have some insurance when they are adults. Many people can't qualify for insurance, so having it from birth can be important. Life insurance? Really? Okay, cool. Thank you so much for that. Gives me some more to check out when considering the Richins case. Yes, I say crazy things this late at night. Yeah, good to see you. I saw you in the comments earlier on some of my videos earlier. Thanks for being here. And he lost his whole family. He annihilated his whole family. Ugh. Okay, guys. So on that terrible note, I can't end it with his disgusting face there. Chickabye. Yeah. It's really free. Where are you from, Sizzle? So, all right, Sunday night, let's do it. Do you guys want Watts or Idaho? Quick. 1 for Watts, 2 for Idaho. 1 for Watts, 2 for Idaho. 1 for Watts, 2 for Idaho. Sunday night live stream. Do remember, you're getting a super bonus Watts video this weekend too. 1 for Watts, 2 for Idaho. 1 for Watts, 2 for Idaho. If you're going to close up soon, can we close on something positive, please? Yeah, so let's do that. Idaho, okay. Keep 1 for Watts, 2 for Idaho. What do you want for the Sunday night live stream? You guys will decide it. Let's see, something positive. Oh, you know what? I have something. All right, here. Hold it. Just gonna take me a second. I gotta go dig into my work email. And unless you guys have something, throw something. 1 for Watts, 2 for Idaho, by the way, for what you want for the Sunday night live stream, 9 Eastern time, which really is 9:30 and 9:45. And if you have something positive to put out there, please do, because that was just a terrible thing for me to do to y'all right before getting off here. Let's see. Did I open that one yet? One I opened. Doug Overton. Where are you, Doug Overton? Nope. That one. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Okay, hold it. say something positive. Vote 1 for Watts, 2 for Idaho for Sunday night's live stream topic. Okay. Let's see. Okay. 1 for Watts, 2 for Idaho. What do you want for Sunday night's live stream? And go ahead and say something positive. Okay, here's my positive thing to close with. Great message for all of you. I wanted something funny, but I don't have funny in me right now. Oh, hey, Just Nate. Thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. 3 for Watts, 5 for Idaho. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, hey, thanks, McJay. Okay. McJay's awesome.
This is the most important and crucial period of your life. What you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number 1 in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have, as a basic principle, the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. Once you discover what it will be, set out to do it and to do it well. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are. And finally, in your life's blueprint must be a commitment to the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. Well, life for none of us has been a crystal staff. We must keep moving. We must keep going. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving.
Yay! What a great message. Gotta love some Martin Luther King Jr., right? There we go. I made up for the Chris Watts face. Isn't that a great message? I love it. I played that for some of my students the other day. Yes, of course. He's just wonderful. It's so true. We always have to remember that our life has value, because it does. That's why I love all you guys. And that leads me to my closing message. Life is hard for all of us, so please be nice to one another all the time, whenever you can be, and especially be good to yourself, because I know that you guys, you deserve it. You totally deserve it. Please be good to yourself. Oh, yes. And Margaret asked, why can't the walk the dog letter be admitted in court? I was remiss in not mentioning that, Margaret. Thank you so much again. So the judge did rule that the walk the dog letter will not be admissible in court. Oh my God. Wow. And McJay says that Margaret, that's because of the legalities around obtaining it, since she was having a seizure at the time, is my guess. I truly do not know what the answer is, but I'm going to look into that now. I know that there is an answer and it's out there. I just don't know what it is. So, yeah. All right, guys. Love y'all. Hope to see you Sunday night. And yeah, in the meantime, take care of yourself. Do something good for yourself this weekend, whether it's going out with friends or, I don't know, just relaxing, or I don't know, plant flowers in your garden. That sounds really cheesy, but the weather's just turning nice here and I really do want to do that. So yeah, good night, guys. Talk to you soon.